Version 6.2 is now just weeks away, and it's stacked with some of the most broken units, including Durin, Vareza, and Xilonen. And on top of that, version 6.3 will bring us Columbina and the highly anticipated White Adeptus.
We are also expecting reruns like Skirk, Neuvillette, and Escoffier. So it's never been more valuable to know where your current team actually stands, so you can decide whom to pull more efficiently.
So starting from the bottom tier to the strongest teams, at number 10 we have Xianyun Plunge Teams. Xianyun has multiple plunge teams with pyro DPS like D-Luke in gaming, with both vape and melt setups. Vape setups reach around 80,000, whereas melt setups reach 85,000 with Citlali. These are all premium setups. Talking about her cheaper setups, such as Gaming Melt with Rosaria, it's around 75,000, but her best teams are with Xiao and C6 Feruzan around 90,000, whereas Vareza, Furina with C6 Yansan does close to 100,000 DPS. You can compare these numbers with the COP DPS teams to get a better understanding. Before coming to number 9, if you are planning to top up, use LootBar. It's currently the cheapest way to top up and is running an extra discount for Arlechhinno's banners. Just click my link in the description, select your server, enter your UID, and your Genesis crystals are delivered instantly. If you sign up now, there's an extra 10% coupon on your first purchase.
Okay, now coming to number 9, it's Neuvillette's team. Yes, I know it might be a surprise to a lot of players, but yes, his teams are not any more broken. His premium freeze teams with Escoffier does around 100k DPS. Other teams like old Neuvillette Hypercarry with Kazuha and Xilonen does around 95k. Same goes for his teams with Mavuika and Durin in vape teams with Xiangling, it's around 90k. Most of teams stays at this range. You can touch 105k with charge attack cancel and perfect rotation, but on average, this is the range where Neuvillette falls currently. Other F2P teams are way lower, so we will not go in depth there.
Then, at number 8, we have Arlechhinno. Her melt teams with Citlali and overload teams with C6 Chevreuse are actually better than Neuvillette teams. Arlechhinno's melt teams are around 105k DPS with normal. You can also run her with double cryo teams adding Escoffier for more consistent melt, or you can also slot Sucrose for 40% VV set and TDDS buff if you can manage to do maximum of melts.
Arlechhinno's overload setups are actually good with C6 Chevreuse. Without C6 Chevreuse, she loses about 15,000 DPS, still good enough to clear content. Her best in slot team is actually overload teams, touching close to 110,000, with Durin and Fischl unlocking Arcane Stage, which is a huge buff, making her way stronger than Neuvillette. Her Vapourise setups with Yelan are slightly lower than Melt, around 100,000 DPS, but still very strong, same as Neuvillette's premium teams.
Now talking about number 7, we have Kinich, who also got an insane buff as Durin is now best in slot for burning. His teams with Durin actually touch around 110,000 DPS with 5 shots, which is not that difficult to get. He was already good with Mavuika, touching around 100,000 DPS, and Durin adds a passive 10,000 increase. He also has good options like Bennett and Yansan, even pairing well with Lauma due to her Dendro-resistant shred. He can also be used with Furina, which gives around 95 to 100,000 DPS. Most of you were thinking about Chaska. I didn't add Chaska in the top 10 as her teams with Mavuika and Citlali do around 100,000, same tier as Vareza Electro Charge, but I didn't include her because in the same team, if you just keep Mavuika on field, she will do more damage. Her teams are around 85 to 90,000, so yes, super close to number 10, but I felt Xianyun gives you more options. Okay, now at number 6, I have Mualani. Her Mavuika and Durin vape teams, considering you vape all your hits, actually do around 100 to 115,000 DPS. Honestly, she is the most stable DPS so far. Most of her teams cross 100,000, even her F2P teams with Sucrose, Xiangling, and Mona do around 95,000, which is the highest among F2P teams so far. If you perfectly minimize her rotation, she can actually go up to 120,000, but as said, it's not that practical. It's like getting 6 shots from Kinich level difficulty. Okay, now at number 5, I have Flins. Originally, I rated him a little higher, but yes, he will do 112 to 115,000 DPS. The thing that makes him higher than Mualani is that he still doesn't have his best teams yet, and he is even more consistent than her. You just can't mess up with Flins. He is super easy to use with simple rotations, no tricks. He has some insane F2P teams, but he relies heavily on Ineffa to deal this level of damage. This is his only disadvantage.
Without Ineffa, he drops to Neuvillette tier. But since we're ranking best possible teams, Flins is currently a top 5 DPS.
Now at number 4, it's Nefer. As said, she ranks a little higher with perfect rotation and hitting all her shots. Honestly, after trying out both, I myself couldn't perform it consistently, as you often die or miss shots while dash canceling. But yes, if you min-max everything, she will provide more damage than Flins. Again, Nefer has the same issue. She relies heavily on Lauma. Both of them might get better with Columbina. So if you ask me pull worth, I'd keep Flins and Nefer higher for sure. Both Kinich and Mualani are at their peak, as most likely none of them will get buffs from now on. Okay, now coming to the top 3 teams, at number 3, we have Vapourise. Mainly her overload teams with C6 Chevreuse and Durin perform around 115 to 120,000 DPS. Even without Durin, her Mavuika overload teams are around 110,000, same tier as Flins and Nefer. She falls to 100,000 DPS if you don't have C6 Chevreuse and C6 Yansan. Her combos might be tricky, she's not as easy as Flins to play, so you might mess up and lose DPS. But overall, I'd rank her the same as Nefer and Flins in premium teams.
Of course, she also has other strong teams like Furina Electro Charge, which we already discussed. At number 2, it's Skirk. She is tricky. With average combos, she reaches 125k easily. But with full min-max, she can hit 130k to 135k. Her teams with Escoffier are completely broken. Most of her teams with Escoffier are above 100k, even with 4 stars, but without Escoffier, her damage drops massively. Teams with 3 5-stars, like Furina, Xilonen, and Citlali, reach around 95k to 100k, which is far below her Escoffier setups. So if you pull Skirk, you must pull Escoffier, as this is one of the strongest DPS duos in the entire game. Now, finally, number 1, Mavuika Melt with Citlali. With the basic combo of 5 melts, she easily reaches 135,000, way higher than any team yet. You can even go higher with multiple combos, reaching 145,000 with perfect gameplay. Most of her teams with Citlali rank above 110,000. She does have multiple options with Xilonen, Yansan, C6 Bennett, and even double cryo teams with Escoffier. Her teams with Furina are also on the same level as Skirk's premium teams, which is insane as she's the only DPS who technically has 2 top-tier teams at once. Other teams like Overload with Chevreuse are also good, on average around 105,000 DPS. But with the best combos and double cancel tech, she can even deal around 120,000 in Overload setups as well. She is far ahead of any other DPS in the list, with multiple meta teams that are insanely good. Even her non-premium teams sit around 100,000 DPS, making her the strongest and most versatile DPS right now. Finally, some teams like Hyperbloom setups, especially with Lauma, can perform around 100k DPS. But I did not include Hyperbloom teams because most of them rely heavily on RNG, and it's very hard to get consistent damage. Also, teams with Durin, as a Melt or Vapourise carry with Mona and Furina, also reach around 100 to 105k DPS. Let me know if I missed any specific teams, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to participate in the giveaway. Till then.